The story begins as we see a 14-year-old girl named Kira Berry who is currently on a flight. She explains in a voiceover that she's been doing gymnastics since she was 6 years old, and it has pretty much become her entire life since then. After winning a string of junior state competitions, she made it to nationals. But one day she got into a serious accident in which she injured her knee, after which she lost all her scholarships. However, after some time, she received a call from Maddie Cornell, a former world champion gymnast who currently works at Corriga Gymnastics Academy in Australia. Kira is then offered a 3-month trial, which will determine whether or not she's accepted for a scholarship at the institution. Kira is overjoyed and accepts the offer right away. As a result, she's currently traveling from Minnesota to Australia for this exciting opportunity. When Kira arrives at Sydney Airport, her aunt arrives to pick her up, and the two warmly hug each other. Later, Kira arrives at the academy and she is very nervous on her first day. Inside, she meets 2 girls named Scarlett and Maya, who speak very rudely to her. After that, she meets Maddie, the one who invited her to the academy. Maddie introduces her to another trainer, Jamie, who is one of the top specialists in injury recovery. The two then take Kira on a tour of the facility, showing them the various departments. Kira then heads to her room, where she tells her aunt that she's starting to miss her family and her home. Her aunt then informs her that she's come to chase her goals and that she should focus on that. After her aunt leaves, her classmates enter and warmly welcome her. The girls tell her that this place is beautiful and people are nice except for Scarlett and Maya. The group then takes a picture with Kira, which she uploads on her social media. The next day, Maddie gathers everyone and announces that they'll be practicing for the next 3 months. However, only 6 girls among them will be awarded full scholarships at the academy. She explains that there are 5 scholarships available for Australian girls and just 1 scholarship for an international student. Hearing this, the girls become worried since they were initially informed about there being 9 scholarships. Maddie then explains that they had to make adjustments due to budget constraints. Later, the girls' rankings are recorded on the board, and they quickly begin to practice. Meanwhile, Scarlett and Maya keep an eye on Kira and devise a plan to make her quit so that they can get the scholarship. This is especially crucial for Maya because she is Mexican and requires an international scholarship. After their training, the girls wear their uniforms and head to school. On the way, they discuss how they don't understand Scarlett's desire to apply for the scholarship given her family's wealth. This is unjust because other girls are in real need of this scholarship. After school, the girls return to gymnastics practice. Kira has trouble with a full front move due to her injuries. When Maya and Scarlett notice this, they inform her that it is a basic requirement and that she will be expelled if she fails to do so. Worried, Kira gives it another shot but falls miserably. Later in her room, Kira asks her friends if mastering the full front is necessary, and they confirm that it is. Later during the night, Kira has a distressing dream in which she's expelled due to her struggles with full fronts. Troubled by this, she heads to the gymnasium alone to practice. But no matter how hard she tries, she keeps failing. When Maddie and Jamie see this, they rush over and comfort her. Kira confesses her doubts, feeling like she doesn't belong here. However, Maddie claims that she also sustained an awful injury several years ago that had a major effect on her career. But with Jamie's help, she was able to get better and return to the field. She then promises Kira that she and Jamie will do everything in their ability to help her on this journey. After this, Kira begins to practice every day with the help of Jamie and Maddie. She gradually improves over time, and one day she finally performs the full front flawlessly before everyone. Meanwhile, Scarlett and Maya are jealous of seeing this since they expect her to fail. During practice, Maddie keeps scolding a girl named Tess, even though she's all sweet and encouraging to Kira. Tess and Kira are good friends, but Tess is very upset by Maddie's tough attitude toward her. When Scarlett and Maya notice this, they try to trigger Tess by talking about how Maddie treats her unfairly. Later at school, Kira is approached by a boy named Bradley, who appears to have a crush on her. He invites Kira and her friends to a movie with his group, but Kira replies she's too busy. Scarlett becomes jealous seeing this, as she appears to have a crush on Bradley. That evening, Scarlett and Maya arrive to see Tess and reveal how Maddie and Jamie have been giving Kira private lessons. Tess is skeptical, so Maya shows her a video of Kira practicing with the trainers. Just then, Kira arrives from her lessons, and when Tess asks where she's been, she says she was in the gym. The following day, it's time for internal competition, and Maddie serves as a judge to assess everyone's performance. Everyone does a great job, and when it comes time to score, Kira earns a slightly higher score than Tess. Tess is enraged because she believes she's better than Kira, so she confronts Maddie and begins arguing with her about her preference for Kira. She even accuses her of giving Kira special lessons. Seeing this, Kira steps in to defend Maddie, explaining that she was helping her because of a knee injury and the emotional impact it had on her. Kira opens up about her accident and the challenges she faced afterward. Hearing this, Tess now feels horrible and apologizes for the way she behaved. Maddie clarifies that her intention was for the girls to push themselves and improve. Eventually, Tess and Maddie resolve their differences and share a hug. After things settle down, Maddie approaches Kira and explains that she won't be able to offer extra lessons anymore. Kira is disappointed, but Maddie reassures her that she'll provide support during the regular training sessions. Afterward, the girls decide to hang out and enjoy the sunset while attempting handstands. Suddenly, Tess joins them, bringing ice cream for everyone, and apologizes to Kira for her past behavior. Kira also forgives her, and the girls have a nice laugh. The next day, while training, a girl named Lee nods asleep, and the other girls wake her up. She then informs them that it's due to her schoolwork. Lee asks Jamie for permission to leave early to finish her studies. She then walks to her room to speak with her mother, who inquires about her studies and homework. Lee is eager to spend the weekend at home with her family, but her mother informs her that her grades are slipping rapidly and that she needs to stay and study. She then claims that Lee should study medicine rather than pursue gymnastics, which, according to her, is just a hobby. Just then, Kira arrives and gets sad at hearing this conversation. With the girls having a weekend off, Kira hangs out at Tess's place with their friends. That night, they all head out to watch a movie with Bradley and his friends. After the film, Bradley invites Kira to a party at his house for the upcoming weekend. Scarlett becomes jealous and asks him whether his father knows about the party, so he tells her that he'll throw it behind his father's back in their country house. Later, on the way to her room, Scarlett complains to Maya about Kira robbing them of everything in their lives, including Bradley and their scholarship. In response, Maya suggests that her parents can cover all the expenses and that the real struggle is for international students like herself. But Scarlett claims that it's not just about the scholarship, but about being the number one. Just then, Scarlett and Maya overhear Lee's conversation with the girls on a video call. Lee opens up about how tough it is handling gymnastics and her studies, and feeling misunderstood by her mother. After the call, Scarlett and Maya go up to Lee and ask if she wants to hang out with them. Lee complains about having to do a lot of homework, but Scarlett claims that it's only for a while, so Lee agrees. The next morning, Lee wakes up feeling paranoid as she realizes she forgot to finish her homework. At school, things get worse when she can't submit her assignment, and her teacher scolds her harshly. Tess and Kira notice her distress and offer to help. Lee explains how her mother doesn't understand her passion for gymnastics and has enrolled her in an extra science class, overwhelming her schedule. Despite Lee's reluctance, Kira approaches Jamie and asks him to step in and talk to Lee's mom, who's pushing her too hard on her studies. That evening, an angry Lee confronts Kira, sharing that her mother wants to transfer her to a different school after the conversation with Jamie. Lee blames Kira for meddling and causing the trouble. Determined to help, Kira searches online for something to convince Lee's mother. She then approaches Lee, asking for another chance, and shows her findings. The following morning, Kira and Lee bring Lee's mom to the school. They share pictures of successful gymnasts who are billionaires, along with images of gymnasts who have balanced their sports careers with becoming doctors. Seeing this, Lee's mom has a change of heart. She allows Lee to stay, on the condition that her studies won't suffer. Lee cheerfully returns to the training and thanks Kira for her help. Meanwhile, Maddie gets into an argument with her boyfriend Jason due to her prolonged hours at the academy, leaving little time for him. Realizing her mistake, she apologizes to Jason and suggests that they go out for dinner this Friday. In the next scene, Kira goes to enjoy the sunset alone and decides to do a headstand. Unexpectedly, Bradley joins her and they start talking. She then begins to cry and says how much she misses her family and how lonely she feels. Bradley then assures her that she is not alone and that he is always there for her. When she asks him what he wants to be, he replies that he wants to be a footballer and represent Australia across the world. Following that, the two lean in for a kiss. But their moment is interrupted by Tess, who brings Kira ice cream. Days later, both the boys and girls teams gather for a friendly football match. However, during the game, Scarlett delivers a strong kick to Kira, causing her to fall and injure her knee again. As a result, Kira is quickly taken to the hospital for medical attention. Meanwhile, at a restaurant, we see Jason anxiously waiting for Maddie, who is now in a distressing situation due to Kira's accident. The next day, Kira returns to training, and thankfully she doesn't have any major injuries. She then approaches Maddie and asks if she could give her extra training, but Maddie says she can't and suggests she seek Jamie's help in teaching her exercises to improve her knee performance. Scarlett then arrives to apologize to Kira, and it seems like she feels genuinely sorry. However, Kira angrily asks her to stay away and leave her alone. Meanwhile, Jamie observes the situation from a distance and does not intervene, but he thinks of a solution to the problem. Later, the trainers announce that a last internal competition will be held at the academy before the national competition. Maddie says she's summoned some experts to judge this competition. The girls are grouped, and surprisingly, Scarlett, Tess, and Kira find themselves in the same team. Maddie then instructs every group to choreograph a dance that everyone on the team must perform. After this, Kira and Tess wonder why Maddie put them and Scarlett on the same team, knowing how much they dislike each other. During the rehearsal, the girls continue to fight with each other. Scarlett grows irritated, particularly because Kira's knee injury hampers their choreography. Seeing this tension, Jamie steps in to intervene and reminds them that the purpose of these groups is to promote collaboration and teamwork. The next day, while Tess and Kira are practicing, Jamie says that their performance is good but lacking something special. He suggests seeking Scarlett's help, believing she might contribute positively. Reluctantly, Tess and Kira approach Scarlett, who introduces them to a renowned gymnast named Caitlin. Through a video chat with Caitlin, the girls gain insights into new moves that could enhance their dance routine. Taking Caitlin's advice to heart, the girls begin to make steady progress each day. Surprisingly, this collaboration also resolves differences between Scarlett, Tess, and Kira, and they begin to get along better. One day, a renowned gymnast named Gabby arrives, who is supposed to serve as a judge for the competition. She then inquires about Scarlett and observes her as she practices. Meanwhile, Tess and Maddie discuss Gabby, sharing their reservations about her. It's revealed that Gabby used to be Maddie's coach many years ago, until Maddie decided to ditch her for some reason. Soon, the day of the competition arrives, and Gabby shocks everyone by announcing an unusual rule that contestants can only talk to the judges by paying $500, similar to international competitions. The girls protest, but Maddie advises them to stay calm and suggests they focus on their performance and adhere to the rules. She advises them to avoid reaching a point where they have to speak with the judges. Shortly after, each girl takes their turn to perform in front of the judges. Tess and Scarlett receive good scores, but Kira is given a lower score by Gabby. Tess stands up for Kira and argues with Gabby, claiming that Kira executed all the choreographed moves. But Gabby defends her decision, pointing out a specific move that Kira missed due to her injury. Scarlett then watches the video recording she made and realizes that Kira performed all the required movements. She tries to show the video to Caitlin, who declines, demanding a $500 fee for a review. Disheartened, the girls begin to walk away. Scarlett surprises everyone by agreeing to pay the money. After this, Kira's performance is re-evaluated, and she secures the third-place spot after Scarlett and Tess. Seeing this, Maya becomes irritated and confronts Scarlett for helping Kira. She claims that this is a betrayal since she could return to Mexico and lose the scholarship as a result. Maya even hurls insults at Kira and Tess before storming off in frustration. After that, Kira thanks Scarlett for her help, who says it's no problem because she's the one who caused her injury. Tess and Kira then invite Scarlett to hang out with them, which she eagerly accepts, and the episode comes to an end.